All right, hey everybody. I am working on a video here to try and show you how to create your own videos using PowerPoint. So I'm going to have lots of different things. Obviously my face will not be throughout this video, but I wanted to put it up here so that you saw that it was an option. And I'm going to do my best to kind of give you a quick overview of how you can create your own videos. All right, so when you record on PowerPoint, first of all, you can either record drawing, you can record voice, or you can record video like I did on the last one, and you can use those all interchangeably. So I'm going to just give you a crash course on how to do this, and then if you have questions, you can always email me and ask me. So how to create videos using PowerPoint. The first thing you do is just make your PowerPoint like you would normally. One thing to note that transitions are hard to manage in a video, so I would leave the transition and the special effects out. I would recommend keeping it as simple as possible. If you have the ability to write or draw on your screen using something like a Surface and a Surface pen or a Dell pen, that's wonderful, and your writing is going to be a lot sharper. However, your finger normally will work if you are using a touch screen. If you do not have a touch screen, that's a little bit more difficult because you have to draw with a mouse, and that's just a lot more difficult. So if you can do this on a touch screen, that would be your best option. When you record, you have the option to use video, drawing, or voice, or any combination of those. One thing that has made my life a little bit easier, especially as I'm making math tutorials, is I actually use the snip tool, which is Windows key plus Shift plus S. You hold those three down together, and then you can screen snip pieces right off of the website, or in this case the packet, so I can just copy and paste that picture straight into my PowerPoint, and I don't have to worry about typing in numbers and trying to line everything up for a math problem. So I would definitely recommend using the snip tool. You can also snip straight out of like the digital math books or the digital reading books if you want to take an example right from the text. So when you have got your entire PowerPoint ready to go, and again, I would keep it simple, I wouldn't do but a handful of slides, you're ready to record the video. And I'm actually going to try and screencast that in a minute here so that you can see exactly what buttons I push. And there are two ways to record. You can either do a slide recording, and all of this is found in the Mix tab in PowerPoint. A slide recording is what I'm currently doing. I'm recording one slide at a time. So after I finish a slide, I hit stop so that if I mess up somewhere along the lines, I don't have to record the entire thing over again. I can just delete one slide recording at a time and redo one slide instead of the entire presentation. A slide recording is the way to go if you're just staying within PowerPoint and you want to just work a couple math problems or read something to the kids. They're good for tutorials, guided instruction, that type of thing. The other option is screencasting. Now this will record a specific window on your computer, usually your entire computer screen, and it allows you to record things outside of PowerPoint, so you can navigate away from PowerPoint and like to a website and teach kids how to enter Edmentum or find an assignment or something like that. You can use it to look at Freckle, but it lets you go back and forth outside of PowerPoint, and it actually records the buttons you were pushing and what you're doing on your screen. And that's what I'm going to do in a minute here to show you how to do your recording. Those are good for how-to videos or sharing other files, like if you have a PDF or something you want the kids to be able to see, or a page from a textbook they don't have at home. That's a good time to use the screencasting tool. All right, when you are finished with the video, you're going to need to export it. To export it, you click on File, Export, and then Create a Video. You'll have to choose the quality of the video you want. The higher the quality, the bigger the number. If you've got a lot of images or a lot of video of you, you're going to want a slightly higher quality so you don't look grainy or fuzzy. But if it's just you working some problems on screen and it's just text or drawings and your voice, a lower quality is perfectly fine. You're going to have to choose a place to save it, so make sure you know where you want to save the video to. And then the better the video, the higher the quality, the bigger the file size, so be aware of that as well. And then you need to know that exporting video takes a while. So down at the bottom of your PowerPoint window, there will be a little progress bar, and it can take up to a half hour to export a video. That's honestly a lot of times the longest part of this whole process is exporting it to a video. And once you are finished exporting it, you'll actually have a video file, and we're going to talk about what to do with that in just a minute here. Okay. Now what I've done is I have shifted over to screencasting, so you should be able to see my entire PowerPoint. This is my original PowerPoint, and I'm going to scooch over here to the other file so I can actually show you how to record on a slide. So what I want to do when I'm ready to make my video, I'm going to go to the Mix tab that's up here on your file. And if I wanted to start with a slide recording, I would click here. And it will open up a whole new window for me. And this is the slide recording window. A couple of notes, obviously record is here. If you want to do one continuous recording, you can just click the next slide and it will continuously record you. Like I said, for me, a lesson I've learned the hard way is to stop recording after each slide so that when I mess up, because inevitably I will, I only have to re-record one slide. If you do mess up, this here, the edit slide recording, will allow you to delete it or trim it if you need to. You don't want to delete a slide recording if you're going to redo it, obviously. And then I've never used the slide notes, but then over here on the right side, you can see where you have a camera option. So I can choose my integrated webcam, and it might look a little different for you. And this box here is going to show you what the students are going to see when you're finished recording. So you'll get to see your face, obviously. But that can be turned on or off, whatever you want. I will say, if you get to making a lot of these, every now and again, put your face in there because I think the kids like to see it sometimes. Make sure your hair is looking okay, though. I'm going to shut that back off, though, by clicking no camera. I don't mess with the microphone or anything like that. And then down here, you can select your ink styles. I made a point I wanted to do this with my finger in case you don't have a drawing tool for your computer. I do love my Microsoft Surface and my Surface Pen. To me, that is the easiest way for me to work math problems. But I know a lot of people don't have the Surface, so I wanted to show you how to do it with your finger. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on purple. I think that color might be all right, and I can test that out when I get started. And what I've done is I've actually just used that snip, the Windows key Shift S, and snipped the first problem of today's math in the 5th grade packet. And if I were doing the packet, I would click record. It starts to record, and I can, talk to the kids through it. Oh, guys, multiplying, we're going to multiply 1 times 3. Well, that's 3. I can do 4 times 10. Well, that's 40. I don't really like how that purple is showing up, so I would probably delete this whole slide and go back and do it again. But you see how you can go ahead and change the colors as you go through this. And then when you're finished, you'll just hit stop. And you can hit close. And when you go back to your original video, all of your recordings will be saved on that slide. So that's how you do a slide recording. Now, if I wanted to do a screencast, that's a little different. I'm still going to go to Mix, like I did here. And I'm going to come over here to Screen Recording. And in that case, I'm going to click the button. And it's going to come up with this gray box. And what I'll need to do is highlight and draw the size of my screen. I don't think it's going to allow me to do that because I'm actually currently recording. So I don't think it'll be able to, but what you see here is a box, and I can make it whatever size I want to, and that will be just the part that is recorded, if that makes sense. I'm going to exit out of that. So that's how you can screencast or slide record. Now, if we were pretending to be done here, what I could do is go ahead and click on File and Export, and I'm going to create a video. And remember, you're going to need to choose what kind of quality you want for your video. And then I would hit Create Video. I'm not going to do that right now as I'm still recording, but a progress bar would show up and it would ask me where to save and show me what my progress is on exporting my video. All right, now what? You've created your video, you're ready to go. Once you have your video saved to your computer, how you share that is up to you. It's going to be a larger file, especially if your video is, upwards of more than 5 minutes, and you probably will not be able to email it. One solution is to create a YouTube channel. It's not hard, it's free. I have a YouTube channel, and that's what I do with my videos is I upload them all to my YouTube channel. A lot of times my parents subscribe to that so that they get a notification every time I every time I upload a new video. It's a really good option, and then I can just share the YouTube link. And then my YouTube channel is, the settings are such that they're for kids only, and they're all instructional. I don't put anything on there that's not an instructional video. Other options, the way my husband does his videos, is he saves them all to a OneDrive file, and he shares that file with his students. You can do that as well. Just make sure you look at your share settings. You're going to want to turn editing off, and you're also going to have to choose, do you want them to have to log in with their ACPSD login in order to access the video, or do you want to share with people outside of the organization, which means basically parents. You can also save your files to other cloud-based services like Google Drive or Dropbox and share your links that way if that's what you're more familiar with. Hopefully this helps you at least get started on how to make a video using PowerPoint. There are lots of ways to make videos. This is just the one that I'm the most familiar with. If you have questions, you can feel free to email me. Otherwise, I hope it helps.